This is kind of a schmaltzy video, very spontaneous because I wasn't planning on it. I was preparing dinner and I had some great schmaltz that I wanted to share with you. I love Yiddish terms. I get over Klimt when I even think about it. That is rendered chicken fat. And that's what Schmaltz means. It comes German word rendered or drippings. And so when you boil chicken and the bones, yesterday I made coq au vin. Whoop, let me get back up here. Chicken and wine. Let it cook for hours and hours and hours. We had the chicken and I just set this, strained all the bones and everything out and all the vegetables and whatnot, and just let it cool overnight. In the morning, I scraped all that schmaltz off the top, the pure rendered chicken fat. It is so good for you. That's what we're talking about. I'm going to talk about a lot more food and diet, so I couldn't help but show you that what schmaltz is. And actually, I'm going to make chicken chow mein tonight from leftover chicken from the coq au vin. And so I'm going to fry that, and I love cast iron. Again, one of my favorites. So you can probably see all my cast iron up there, but I love cooking in cast iron. It holds the heat. If you take care of it properly, it doesn't stick or anything. So I'm going to make some chicken chow mein tonight using this schmaltz to fry up the vegetables, the celery, and then this beautiful gelatinous. Look at how gelatinous that is. You know, that's off from all the bones from the broth. You know, just like how they make Jell-O from cow hooves. It's the same principle. It's all this gelatinous chemistry. So anyway, and you'll see on the table, this is part of the daily things what I do around here for a healthful diet. I'm making my green tea there, you can see. I got 10 tea bags in of green tea, and I put mix the tea in, and I mix in with that just some very important antioxidants. Anything in dark berries. So I use cranberry, blueberry, what else do I got down? Pomegranate, cranberry, red cherry, and blueberry. You put that in with, I make the hot green tea, cool it, put it in here, drink iced tea all day long. It's got a nice little caffeine buzz to it and a lot of antioxidants, good for you. It's burning fat too. Green tea burns fat, so that contributes to the weight loss that I've been experiencing with all this good food that I'm preparing. So there'll be more on that, but I just had to show you the schmaltz. It's part of the Heartlight diet. I've got that schmaltz melting in there. Just preparing to, it's getting pretty hot. I better turn it down a bit. But I want to start throwing in some of the ingredients for the chow mein. I like chunky chow mein. Well, no, not chunking chow mein, but chunky. So I got me onions chopped up and the cremini mushrooms in big hunks because they're so meaty. And I'm going to put them into the cast iron to kind of saute them up a bit. One hand, there we go. I think I've got it. All right. Celery takes a long time to get tender, but you want it to stay a little bit crisp in the chow mein. Have to give them a little stir. Oh, and I love using wood utensils and cast iron. There's just nothing better, you know. You're not getting to get any of those little tiny flakes of Teflon into your system. God, those people, that's poor baby boomers been eating Teflon their whole lives. You think it would help with my squeaky joints, wouldn't you? Now that the onions are frying up pretty good, I'm going to add the cremini mushrooms. And everything in there. Yeah, butter in there. Ah, we go. Yes. And I put the bean sprouts in last because I cheated. I cheated and bought a can of bean sprouts instead of fresh. But they were out at Trader Joe's. So, but now is the time to add just a wee bit of fresh garlic. Well, not fresh, but I buy garlic by the whole quart full here because garlic is so good for you. I eat it every day. And that's why this jar is almost empty. So I'm just going to splash some in there. Oh, that's good. Time to get in a jar, I think. But it's so good for your blood. And I give blood every month. Sometimes even twice a month. So it's good to keep the garlic up. keeps your blood up, keeps the cholesterol down. Garlic's a good thing. I lowered the temperature a bit, not to scorch the garlic, but now it's time to deglaze. What I call it, deglaze the bottom of the pan from all the mushrooms and the caramelizing of the onions that's happening down there. And to pour this deglazes the pan. Also gives it a really wonderful flavor. But it lifts all that good flavor and stuff off the bottom of your cast iron. See that? It's clean as a whistle on the bottom. As a whistle. Now let's take a look. Ooh, the mushrooms are just perfect. Now it's time to add the chicken that I separated from the coq au vin last night. The meat off the bone. I'm going to dump that in there now. And I think I'll just go ahead and put the bean sprouts in there as well. Looks like I'm making it for an army. It's just me and the missus. The grandkids will be coming over soon. They love Papa's chow mein. And with chow mein tonight, we're going to have some brown rice and wild rice mix. Both very high in fiber. Another part of the Heartlight diet is high concentration of good fibers. And that's in brown rice. That's much better than white rice and wild rice, which is really not rice, you know, but it's high in fiber. And then we have the sourdough bread. See that? I made that yesterday, and I usually make a loaf of sourdough couple times every other day or so. And we're going to go into the whole sourdough thing. I'll show you how to make honest to good sour, like San Francisco sourdough. Wherever you are. I'm up in the Northwoods of Minnesota, and I made my own sourdough. And it's wonderful. Just as good as San Francisco. Well, the view's a little nicer in San Francisco, but you can make it at home. So we're going to go through some more of that. And what is the value of all this? Look at all that luscious chicken in there. It's tender. Just, you could gum this chicken. It's so tender. I love poaching food. We had some poached salmon the other night, poached in whole milk. Oh, good in Himmel. I gotta tell you about that. But that's more about poaching food and how good it's for you. Okay, now we're gonna add the gelatinous bone broth here. Can you see it wiggling? Blah, 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 blah. Look, kind of. I'm not gonna tell you what that reminds me of. We're gonna let this mix together. May add a little bit of soy sauce, some teriyaki sauce, and some 5-spice seasoning, a little bit, some fresh ground pepper. Always use fresh pepper and fresh ground salt. And we'll have chow mein tonight.